What's up, Hedgehog Maniacs and Doki Fanatics? ZXLTRXNSixBillion here, back with more Doki Doki Everlasting, which is a mod for Doki Doki Literature Club. The last time I saw me play, MC went to the Literature Club for the first time after he met the girls during lunch and everything. But before he headed home with Sayuri, Monika wanted to talk to him, and what she said to MC was kind of shocking, honestly. And before the next day of the club, it went to Monika's perspective, and there was and I think I heard a familiar voice, if I didn't say that during my last recording. I still think that person that I heard that was voicing Monika was the same one that voiced her during the Salvation mod when they read the poems. I was surprised to hear any voices, honestly. But it's time to see what this mod brings. Time to dive in, and let's do it to it. Here we go. And as you can see, Monika's doing that pose. It's expected, honestly. But anyway.
How you doing, Sonix? Glad to see you back here. It would be a shame if you ran away from us.
Like I do that to you guys. I keep my word.
That's great to hear. Feel free to participate in any literature-related activities for the time being.
Got it. I glance around the room and lower my voice. Hey, are you feeling any better?
Yeah, I feel a lot better. Although I still feel a bit down.
That's okay. It's best to take it slow for now. You can't make anyone feel better after one day.
You're right.
I give Monika a light pat on the shoulder and take my seat. It's related to that conversation that they both had before they left the school grounds. Anyway, I was last to come in, so everyone's already doing their usual thing.
Sonix, you came back!
Yeah, why wouldn't I? I mean, this place is cool and all. Of course I'll come back.
I guess that's true. Still, I'm glad you came back.
Oh, Natsuki.
Don't expect cupcakes for every meeting. And if you don't take us seriously, you're not gonna see the end of it.
I promise you, I'm not that much of a slacker. I even wrote a poem, if that's surprising.
It's gonna take a lot more than that. Besides, it's not hard to write a bunch of garbage on paper anyway.
Well, she's not wrong. Natsuki, you're being rather harsh. I'm sure you did fine for a beginner. Thanks for that, Yuri. Although, yeah, Natsuki's not wrong at all. I did write garbage on a piece of paper after all. Oh, man.
Hey, there you go, Yuri. Compliments from Sonix himself.
Oh, man. Seemingly proud of a proving her point, Natsuki swiftly turns to a nearby seat.
Guys, don't really sound not so much. The focus on the fun. They're giving it its best. Sonix always been a big help to me when we were kids. Does even help you out being asked.
Yeah. Like that time you always said your father?
Hey! Don't say that!
Oh, man. Sayuri quickly moves to cover my mouth, her cheeks bending slightly. You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little bit jealous.
How come? You two can be really good friends. You two can be really good friends if you want to. You're both in the Literature Club now.
Hey, Sayuri. I lower my voice to a whisper. You're kind of putting Yuri on the spot. You know how uncomfortable she could get at times, right?
Oh, right. I almost forgot. Sorry, Yuri. I gotta go ahead of myself a bit.
It's fine. After all, it's important for us to get along.
That's fair, Yuri. I promise you, Sonic is such a good friend.
I'm sure he is. The conversation steers into a complete stop, and everyone settles in. Monika calls for Sayuri, and the two move over to the corner of the room. Yuri's reading a novel, and Natsuki's nowhere to be found. However, a few huffs and groans confirm that she's over in the closet. I pull out my poem in my bag and look over it once more. I'm already trying to ignore myself for the responses to my poem. And sure, rather. That's what it's supposed to be. I can't believe I just said that, but anyway. But as long as I'm doing my best, it's the thought that counts. Right? I don't know about that. A realization dawns on me as I continue searching through my bag. I don't have anything related to literature in my bag. This doesn't look good on me, considering I'm just sitting around like an idiot. But a quick scan around the room affirms one thing. No one's willing to be bothered. Defeated, I turned over to where Monika and Sayuri are chatting, hoping to find some sort of solution to my problem. But it seems like the two grows in their conversation to notice the position I'm in. In fact, I can even hear a bit of their conversation from where I'm sitting.
Even if we come up with those 50 examples, no one would come in the first place if it's a literature event. So it's more important to figure out how to get people to show up in the first place, you know? And then when they come, we can do the thing to speak to their creative minds.
Huh. Sayuri's taking this really seriously. I guess she really does hold some form of passion for the club. And here I thought she only joined this place because it would have been fun to start something fresh. Guess I was wrong about that. Still though, even as kids, it was rare to hear her deliberating like this. But whenever she did, she always had a habit to put her mind on certain thing and make it come to life. It's reassuring to see that hasn't changed one bit. Jesus Christ. I've been sitting here for a few minutes and not once have I done anything other than stare at the wall vacantly. I'm starting to wonder if I was lying when I told Natsuki I would take this club seriously. Because this surely isn't helping my case with her at all. Word of advice, man. Don't get on Natsuki's bad side. Luckily, I doubt she really notices. Are you sure about that? But if she does, I better prepare to steel myself for whatever she has to say. True. Natsuki doesn't seem like the type to be around the bush. Yeah, you think? So I shouldn't get on her bad side at all. Dude, that's what I just said.
Hey, are you there?
Huh? What? I snap out of my daydream as Monika stands in front of me. A quick glance around the room concludes that she finished whatever she was talking about with Sayuri. Oh. Yeah, I'm here.
I assume you have nothing to do, correct?
Yeah. Nobody was really willing to be bothered, so...
Sorry if it's boring.
I wasn't thinking that. I just had nothing really to do.
Really?
Yeah. I know. I'm irresponsible. I look down at the floor.
Hey, that's not true at all. It's okay that you do nothing sometimes. After all, I would be lying if I said I don't do nothing from time to time as well. And besides, I began to read some poetry books from Emily Dickinson. Care to join me?
Admittedly, I'm not a big fan of poetry from older generations. But as Monika and I conclude, I have nothing to do. Sure.
Great.
Monika scans the room, most likely looking for a place to sit. I don't know why she can't just pull up a seat next to me.
Over here.
Monika points to a spot underneath the windowsill, near the closet. She slides up against the wall and pats the empty spot next to her. I follow. Whoa! Wow! Hello! This is kind of like how where Natsuki would sit and everything. I'm kind of surprised, honestly. Wow. Anyway, wouldn't chairs be more comfortable?
Not really. Whenever I'm sitting on a chair, I slouch a lot when I'm focused on paperwork or reading a book. It also doesn't help that back pains tend to be regularly for me.
Yeah, I guess you're right. We've all been there before.
Yep. It's one of those things we can't combat. Never we wanted to. Although, it's mostly a problem among unhealthy people, since their muscles are more prone to pressure. It does also revolve around slouching as well. Unhealthy people have a lot of consequences for being unhealthy, ranging from high blood pressure and cholesterol to simpler things like exercise. I tend to keep a healthy diet to combat these at all times. It's really helpful in the long run.
You seem to know a lot about this stuff.
I guess that's one of the perks of being a vegetarian.
Vegetarian?
Yep, I became one after learning more about Earth's climate. Once I figured out how the carbon footprint of cultivating livestock is unbelievable, I decided to not contribute to that whole mess.
I see. I'm indifferent about this type of stuff, really.
Why's that?
It's just, well, I'm not exactly fat, but I'm not healthy either.
That's normal. Most of the world's like that. Not fat, but unhealthy. But also not very healthy either. It's not a bad thing, but though it could be a little bit better.
Yeah. I've been meaning to start eating healthier, but I never really got around to it.
Why's that?
Guess I just end up forgetting at times. But after hearing you speak about that, maybe I should really consider choosing healthier options.
You definitely should. It might be jarring at first, since it's a change from your usual lifestyle. But once you get used to it, you'll start to see how much you have improved. And eventually, it'll become second nature of sorts. You get what I mean?
Yeah. Just like poetry, in a way. It's gonna be a rough ride, but hopefully it'll smooth it out later.
It does. Believe me, not many people jump into anything expecting to be very good, or somehow be a natural. We all start off not knowing what to do. But once we learn new skills, we can improve ourselves. And suddenly, we can do amazing things.
Monika says this as she reaches into a bag and pulls out a thick book.
Like starting now.
She places the book between our laps. I gulp, realizing how many pages there might be in this one book in total. Monika notices my hesitation and tries to reassure me.
Don't worry. This book was designed to not be read in order. This is just a collection of all the poems Dickinson wrote in her life. Here, I'll show you a favorite of mine.
Monika flips through the book, eventually landing on a page with a bookmark on it. She holds it out for me to see. Hello. This is interesting. So got a poem here. It was not death. For I stood up. I guess 510 for parentheses. It was not death, for I stood up. And all the dead lie down. It was not night, for all the bells put out their tongues for noon. It was not frost, for on my flesh I felt circus crawl, nor fire for just my marble feet could keep a candle cool. Chancel. Cool. Sorry if I can't say that right. And yet, it tasted like them all. The figures I have seen, set orderly for burial, reminded me of mine. As if my life was shapen and fitted to a frame, and could not breathe without a key. And 'twas like midnight, when everything that ticked has stopped, and space stares all around, where grizzly frost first autumn morns repelled the beady ground, but most like chaos stopless, cool, without a chance or spar, or even a report of land to justify despair. Monika looks up at me exponentially. How am I going to tell her that I don't really have a clue what I read? I mean, I caught some of the lines in the poem, but I have no idea what the meaning is. It's very metaphorical. I eternally facepalm at how stupid that sounded, but I have no other alternative explanations. Meanwhile, Monika lets out a few giggles, obviously at my lack of response.
Hey, don't worry about it. Remember, you can't expect to be very good or natural at a new subject. Here, I'll help you analyze it. See this here?
Monika traces her finger across the second stanza. Yeah? What about it?
What do you think it means?
Well, it seems that Dickerson couldn't feel frost on her flesh or fire on her marble feet. I have no idea what else. Maybe she's feeling normal?
Well, that's one way to put it. You're close, but not quite there. Since she couldn't feel one extreme or another, my interpretation is that she felt empathy. An absence of emotion. Of course, there might be various other ways to analyze this poem, but that's what makes poetry special. Poems can either be straightforward with their messages, or they can be abstract and complex like physical expressions or feelings. Sometimes even asking what a poem is about isn't the right question. Some poems can just be out there, with no real meaning at all.
Monika shoots a glance at the clock before her expression considerably lights up.
Oh shoot, I almost forgot about our bomb shot activity.
Monika lifts herself off the floor before clapping her hands, grabbing everyone's attention in the process.
Okay everyone, it's time to share our bombs. Soniax, did you remember to write the poem? You did remember to write a poem, right?
Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I'm doing something as embarrassing as this. But like Monika said, I should expect to be a natural at it immediately. Well, I guess there's no turning back now. I reluctantly pull out my poem out of my bag. So I'm guessing MC is gonna show Monika his poem. But anyway.
Hi, Soniax. I forgot to ask. Are you having a good time so far?
I nod.
That's great to hear. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you have any full suggestions for the club, like new activities for us to do, and things we can do better,
I'll keep that in mind. Even though I'm better off going with the flow and waiting until I'm more settled in.
Anyway, did you want to share your poem with me? Don't worry about feeling embarrassed. We'll feel like that today.
Including you?
Yeah, I would be lying if I said no.
That's okay. It's natural anyway.
Yep, but it's that feeling that I learn to get past soon. There might be a bit more pressure in your case, considering you're new here and all. But don't worry, we don't fight. In fact, I'm glad to help out any fellow new radios and make them feel more accustomed to the subject.
You really are something else, you know that?
I'm just doing what a leader should be doing.
And that's good. Anyway, I think we've been started enough time. Here, hand over my poem to Monika, who graciously takes it without a word and reads it. After a few minutes, she hands it back to me.
Good job, ZX. This is a great first attempt.
You don't have to be so nice.
Why share that? Although it's not professional, it's still really good. Using abstract concepts to create a comma, yet intriguing theme. Comment, yet intriguing theme. We have a lot of potential in your future.
Thanks. I told her to walk away, but a tap on the shoulder prevents me from going too far.
Hang on! There are a few things I can help you out with, if you insist.
Go ahead.
Ahem! I got to think about new words that they tend to use melodrama and exaggerated language a lot. I know it's not a bad thing. It's definitely a common mistake people have when writing poetry. I may have done that right when started, but that's fine. It's not something we can be blamed for. Also, am I correct to assume that there wasn't much editing done in this?
Yeah. I was tired. Can you blame me?
I wasn't going to, but I do have some good advice for you.
Is it one of those writing tips of the day or something? Anyway, let's hear it then.
Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. You try so hard to make it perfect that you'll never make any progress. A way to handle this is to force yourself to get something down on the paper and then tie it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get follow me. So just move your head and go with the flow. And that's Monika's writing tip for the day.
Figures. Monika's writing tip for the day. Commenting in DDLC.
Thanks for listening.
That's actually some very useful writing advice. Thank you. I'll definitely keep that in mind.
No problem. Now, do you want to read my poem? Don't worry, I'm not very good at this.
Come on, it can't be that bad. You gave some good advice, so you know your stuff. Let's read your poem then.
All right.
Tides. Change can only happen to an extent. Peering out my window, I see the beginning and the end. The sun paints the sky a brilliant orange, and while I keep hoping, I sadly know the truth all too well. I am not the author of the story. Everything I've done and everything I'm going to do was and has been predetermined. I sit and watch as the tides threaten me with each forward movement. The sunset over the horizon falls lower and lower until the orange finally fades, and the end has arrived. And I am once again pulled out to sea. It's very freeform. Is that the right term? Can I not continue to make myself a complete fool in front of the club president? I don't know. And there's that pose again. I don't know if this happened after during the MC's first poem share with Monika in the main game or not, but regardless. Can you stop doing that, Monika?
Well, I guess you can say that's what I'm aiming for. The freeform style has gotten a lot more popular these days. That is, a lot of poets have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful.
I guess you're right. Hey, if it's okay with you, what's the inspiration behind this one?
I guess you can say some kind of empathy I had for a while. It's been giving me some sort of influence on my poems.
And in case you're wondering what Monika is talking about, this is a spoiler if you haven't played DDLC. Monika is self-aware. She can break the fourth wall. That's what she's talking about. Like I said, that was a spoiler. Anyway, and empathy,
Yeah, something like that. I don't really feel comfortable enough to talk about it, though. Maybe once we're all better friends, I'll tell you guys about it.
That's fine. Take all the time you need.
Thanks.
Phew. I guess that's everyone. We don't get to see the other Dokis? I think we've seen all the remaining Dokis, honestly. Even with that. But I guess not. But then again, this is the Monika mod, after all. I think something like this did occur in Summer Hope when it only showed Natsuki. But anyway, I guess that's everyone. After sharing my poem and reading everyone else's work, I feel like my writing is definitely going to need some polishing. Even though everyone's acting nice, I can feel their judgmental gazes reading over my poem. It almost feels like I'll never catch up to their standards. But what can I say? I'm the only one here who doesn't have as much experience with writing. Hell, if I didn't really know what I was going for when I wrote it. I just had a thought and started writing. Slumping onto a nearby chair, I scanned the room quietly. Sayuri and Monika seem to be exchanging poems at the far right of the corner of the room. I noticed Sayuri rather right, grin and eagle eyes as she scans over Monika's poem intently. On the other side of the room, I observed Natsuki and Yuri gingerly exchanging their work. Oh boy. As they read in tandem, I noticed each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyes forward in frustration, while Yuri smiles sadly. Turning my attention away from them, I suddenly feel a lot more drained than I did earlier. Is it normal to feel this tired after sharing poems? Besides, I've gotten plenty of sleep over the past 2 days. How can I still feel tired after that? I don't know. I would question it, but I start to feel sleep overcome my eyelids. With no other option, I rest my arms on the desk and my head in my arms. Uh-oh. And here's the argument from before.
I'm not the one who started stuffing her bra as soon as next time showing up.
Natsuki! What? I instantly snapped wide awake as Natsuki's standing tone and Yuri's shocked, almost fearful voice. Quickly turning my attention to them, I also noticed that Sayuri and Monika have stopped what they were doing.
Natsuki, that's a little...
This doesn't involve you.
This doesn't involve you! I don't like funny guys!
Suddenly, both girls turned towards me. Oh no. Sonny X! She's trying to make me look bad!
As if! It's not my fault that you can appreciate simple writing! What's the point of making your poems unconvoluted for no reason? Poetry should be rocket science, you know! It means you just jump at the reader, not force them to find out for themselves! Help me explain that to her!
Wait! There's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and emotions effectively. Of course, even if I tried to explain it to you, you wouldn't understand it. But Sandy X understands, right? Well? How did I even get dragged into this? More importantly, why? I don't know much about Ray, and I wasn't even paying attention to what they were mostly saying. How did they expect me to come to a decision like this? Besides, I've only been in the club for a day, and they've already put me in an argument I have no business being in. I take a deep breath. Girls, I appreciate it if you kept me out of this argument. I've only been here for around a day. Cut me some slack.
That's seriously it? Well, somehow you are. Why do you even join this club if you didn't want to be a part of this?
Natsuki, don't push him. He's already made up his mind. We should respect his wishes and solve this on our own.
Oh, now you're defending him? You dragged
stop harassing others with your sickening attitude? You act like everything has to go your way. Do you even care if other people have a different opinion? Or do you think you're ruling the whole world?
Yeah. You don't know me. Don't act like you don't act the same way. You act like everything revolves around your capital environment and a piece of paper. Hey guys, can we stop fighting? I don't like when my friends fight. Go away, Sayuri. This doesn't and will never involve you.
Sayuri yelps and rushes away from the argument in tears. Now what you have done! This is exactly what I meant by sickening attitude. You may act like as young as you look, Natsuki.
Man! Like you're talking enough!
Oh boy. Monika's voice booms across the club room, silencing Yuri and Natsuki immediately. Whoa.
Yuri, Natsuki! I do not tolerate this kind of behavior in my club. Have you seen what you two did?
Monika points over to Sayuri. The other two girls look down at the floor, regret shown in their eyes.
Sayuri always acts in everyone's best interest, and yet this is how you two act? And do we really want to make Sanyax uncomfortable after he just joined? But let me finish, Natsuki. You both know I don't appreciate behavior like this. Besides, you two are very talented writers. There is no reason we should be arguing over this. I want you two to apologize now. Understood?
Neither of them want to admit defeat. Yuri slowly looks over to me. I give her a weak but reassuring smile. Alright. Natsuki seems reluctant at first, but gives a hesitant nod.
Look, will everyone stop staring at me?
Monika looks away.
Anyway, I didn't mean to say that. I got so fed up and said some things. You think about your boobs? I didn't mean it, okay? That's all.
Natsuki looks away, avoid eye contact from anyone. Meanwhile, Monika steps into the front of the room.
So, I think with that, we can end the club for today. I hope that tomorrow turns out better. I think it's best if we take a break from sharing posts for a little while.
Leaving the conversation at that, she walks over to consult Sayuri. Turning my head to their direction, Sayuri nods at Monika, packs her things up, and leaves without another word. I guess we're not walking home today. Yuri, Natsuki, and I exchange brief glances before silently packing up our things. After they leave, Monika walks over to me.
Hey, sorry about earlier. I promise it won't happen again.
Nah, you're fine. We all act like that sometimes. Although, has that sort of thing happened before? Monika shakes her head solemnly.
That's really the first time they fought like that. I mean, they had arguments before, but never got this bad. It reminds me of my time back at the debate club. The arguments would get so heated to the point where they would resort to insulting each other's opinion. And seeing how Sayuri was pushed away, even though she's really good at repelling conflict, I had to step in and de-escalate the conflict before it got too out of hand.
You know, Sayuri was right.
Eh? About what?
You're a really great leader. You resolved that argument to the best of your ability.
Yeah. It doesn't help that I'm not very good at people. That's actually part of the reason I made Sayuri vice president. She handles situations like these much better. However, sometimes I have to put my foot down and step up, you know? I can grow from that and learn as a person. We're only human after all. Sometimes we have to deal with these but things ourselves, even when we're not very confident about it.
I guess you're right. I'm not very good with people either, so I can't blame you.
Guess that makes us both dead, right?
Yeah. Anyway, I gotta go home now. I'll see you tomorrow. I sent her a quick wave and exit the room. Man, wow. I still can't believe what just occurred. I mean, like I said, I've seen many arguments, variations between Natsuki and Yuri, but just when you think you've seen one that tops it all, I think this one alone tops it all, honestly. Anyway, the fatigue of today crashes onto me like a wave as I fall onto my bed. All I want to do is sleep until the next day. I glance at my desk. So, no poem I have to write. I would think I would feel relieved that nobody would be able to read my garbage writing, but I'm a bit disappointed at the end of the day. Sure, writing poems is time consuming, but it wasn't as bad as I originally thought. And I shouldn't really let any of Monika's critique and advice go to waste. It'll hopefully give me a chance to grow closer to her. She seems pretty interesting and has a sense of confidence that allures me in a way. It makes me wonder if I'm truly worthy of her time. I'm basically nothing she is. In fact, I'm 90% sure she has more people that are worth her time than me. Damn it! I should really stop putting myself down so often. It'll get me nowhere. Exhausted, I slowly rise out of bed and trudge towards my desk. I guess one poem wouldn't hurt. I grab a nearby sheet of paper and a black pen. And I'm back at square one with poetry. God damn it. I knew I should have tried this again. It's like the hardest part of this process isn't writing. It's finding inspiration or an idea in the first place. Considering how boring of a person I am, I don't really have much leverage to come up with something creative. Well, I guess I could just look up a poem ideas on Google and go from there. As soon as I start booting up my computer, my phone ringtone goes off. Who could that be? Quickly pulling out my phone, I see an unknown number. Should I answer? It could just be a spam caller. Considering how many scams calls I've gotten this month, I'm extremely hesitant on answering. Besides, I don't know who else would get my number. Why do I get the feeling it's Monika? Without another thought, I hang up and put my focus onto my bed computer screen. Again? I pull out my phone to see the exact same call ID. I consider hanging up once more, but I'm curious to see who has called me twice in a row. I got a feeling it has to be Monika. Besides, if it's a scammer, I can hang up anyway. I answer the call. Who is it? I immediately hear a faint, almost medical sound coming from the other end. What is that? I attempt to listen closely, but it's mostly muffled. Other than that, I have no idea who that could be. Boo! Ah! Yep, it was Monika.
Did I scare you?
No, you did.
Such a bad player, ZX.
So it wasn't a scam caller. I'm both relieved that it wasn't one, and embarrassed that I hung up twice on Monika. Sorry for hanging up earlier. I thought you were a scam caller.
That's fine. In fact, it's my fault for not asking for your number earlier. By the time I remembered, you already left.
Then, how did you get it?
I took the Sayuri for it.
Oh, Sayuri. Anyway. Oh, that sounds reasonable. Hey, I hear something back there. What's that supposed to be?
Oh, shoot. I didn't realize it was that loud. It's actually a piano back there. I was supposed to practice today, but something happened.
You practice piano?
Just started recently. I always wanted to get into it. Besides, does it help? Does it help to listen to piano after a long, stressful day?
I wouldn't know. I don't listen to music that much anyway.
You don't?
Not really. I mean, sometimes I do listen to it from time to time, but that's really about it.
And what do you listen to?
Mostly Beethoven. Pretty generic choice, I know. But their work is pretty good.
Really? I would say that. He's a very admired composer across the world. I think Beethoven's a good start into the world of classical music.
Fair enough. Surprisingly, he listens to Beethoven. Impressive. But anyway, I've always wanted to get more into it anyway. What do you listen to?
Mostly classical. There are moments of suggestions on rap music.
Rap? Why that specifically? Wait a minute, I think I do recall something about that in Interview Club. Or was it somebody else? I don't know. Anyway.
Rap can actually be a very neat form of literature in some ways. For one thing, it challenges you since you have to fit your lines into a rhythm. Also adds much more emphasis to the wordplay. If people can put all that together and still deliver a powerful message, it's really amazing.
Oh. I guess you are wrong about that. Hey, where are you? It sounds like you're somewhere else.
Oh, I'm at the hospital with my mom. She sometimes drags me along to her appointments, so I just sit at the lobby and wait for her.
I see. Can I ask a question?
Go ahead. I have no time until she comes back.
What's the music playing back there?
Ah, it's actually one of my favorite pieces of all time. Claire de Lune by Club President Monika.
Thanks. Flipping over the paper I was using for my poem, I scrawled Claire de Lune on it.
Did you know that this is actually a live performance right now?
Wait, for real?
Yep, have listened.
Monika silences herself, allowing me to hear the quiet song. She isn't wrong. The pianist is really talented. He's got talent, no doubt. How much experience does he have?
Last I recall, about 10 to 15 years.
That's a long time. Seems like he really knows his stuff.
He certainly does.
A bit of incoherence talking is coming from the background.
Oh, okay. Sorry to cut this short. I have to go.
Damn. Would like to talk with you a bit more.
See, but there's always another time, right?
Yeah, you're right. See you tomorrow.
You too.
I hang up the call and look back at my computer. Claire de Lune, huh? Let's see. I search up Claire de Lune on Google and click the first result. The music plays, and I'm suddenly hit with a feeling I don't think I've experienced before in a long time. Huh. In fact, I feel even more inspired to write now. I look down at my rough draft of a poem and set it aside, tearing a new piece of paper from my notebook. If I have inspiration, I might as well write something good. I begin to press the pen deep onto the paper. I'm stopping here, Hedgehog Maniacs. That was quite something to say the least. I still can't believe what transpired. Well, like I said, I've seen many arguments between Yuri and Natsuki from the main game. Other mods like Summer Hope, Relapse, Blue Skies. I could go on and on. But I think the argument tops it all, honestly. The argument in this mod. I'm just wondering what's gonna be in store for me when I come back to you. But for now, ZXLTRXNSixBillion signing out. I'll catch you guys in the next video, and I'll see you guys later. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and let me know what you think down below. If you want to see more of my content, subscribe to me so you'll check out the rest of my content, and you can also check out the videos you see here on the screen. I told you to stop doing that, Monika!